So I think last night or the night before, Bernie Sanders tweeted something about taxing the wealthy, or having the wealthy pay their fair share. To which Elon replied, "He keeps forgetting he's still alive," and then asked if he should sell more of his stock. Just say the word, as Elon said, and he will. So where do you guys want to start by tackling this? So first of all, I will say, like, many people I saw had very similar reaction to you, Sina, which was that was a rude thing to say to, I guess, an old guy.
Yeah, I think so. This subject is so deep, and we're just gonna have to start. Let's just start by the rootness. I know it's probably just a superficial layer of it, and we can go deeper and deeper. But that was my first reaction. It's like because I took it as, oh, you're still alive, not in the sense of you're relevant or not. It felt like you're attacking someone who is very old, and I was like, that's the part of your personality that I'm not sure if I'm okay with. That was the start of the
Cena got triggered.
I got triggered. Yes.
I was surprised, mostly because I think Elon is a character, right? He's very eccentric, and I was not expecting him to respond that way. It's like, I mean, he's kind of putting on a show in general with this whole. I guess we should explain, right? Like, what he paid like $7 billion in tax, or sorry, he sold $7 billion worth of stock. Is that right? And so,
That's about
paying
right.
a bunch of taxes on that in kind of a big show, right? A couple weeks ago, he did a Twitter poll asking if he should sell 10% of his Tesla stock. People voted, over 55% or something said that he should. And so he was like, all right, the next day or 2 days later, he sold a whole bunch. But apparently this was all planned, and, it was going to happen anyway. And so, yeah, he kind of turned it into a big show. And yeah, so I guess Bernie, around the same time, put his tweet out. And so I wasn't expecting any like kind of response like
So-
that, I guess.
So I think we need to, there's a couple of things to clarify there. I think the options that he exercised recently, which he so after his initial tweet that came out, the Twitter poll, the Monday after, he exercised options and then proceeded to sell. So he did two-part transaction. So exercised options and then sold right away. I think that was already pre-planned.
Right.
But he's
I
also
think he might have
selling.
sold some more.
Yeah. So I think after, or maybe starting, maybe sometime last week, and speculatively it's continued this week, was he was continuing to sell that 10% of his ownership. So I think there's two transactions there, just in case, because I think that's important, right? Like he didn't exercise his options and then proceeded to sell just based on the like pre-planned his Twitter poll. But there's a subsequent action.
You're saying
that
he
was
could
a
have
result.
He could have held the options that he exercised.
So this is where I'm not entirely clear. I mean, theoretically, of course, he could have held, but he would have had to pay taxes on that transaction.
Right.
And it's quite known that he doesn't have cash.
Right.
Yeah, he's cash poor. So he would have had to sell anyways to pay that tax.
Right.
The tax on that transaction. But my first reaction was, I actually had two two kind of first reactions. Number one was it was kind of, oh, here we go, like Democrats are waving this their stick again, the tax the wealthy stick, right, which I think they've weaponized successfully. Second one was like, oh, awesome, the stock's going to take a dip tomorrow, that's a good buying opportunity. So I ended up buying some today. So I
Nice.
wasn't as it like even with that said, I wasn't all that reactive, like positively or negatively.
I wasn't offended or anything.
Yeah.
But I definitely also kind of, if anything, it brought more attention to Bernie Sanders' tweet than Elon's. It was more like
Mhm.
making me think, where do I stand on this topic
It's-
of taxing billionaires and the uber wealthy? And